Welcome to a new mysterious video from Face of Mystery. Today we delve into the world of live television, a medium that has gifted us with unforgettable moments, ranging from breathtaking athletic achievements and humorous flubs by newscasters to profound global tragedies. However, amidst these memorable instances lie mysterious and puzzling events that have unfolded on live TV, captivating and perplexing audiences worldwide, leaving behind a trail of intrigue and unanswered questions. In the shadowed heart of La Paz, Bolivia, lies the Hernando Siles Stadium, an arena opened in 1930, steeped in history and shrouded in a veil of chilling enigmas. As the site of numerous significant sporting battles, it was here, amid the roar of the crowd and the fierce clash of athletes, that a particularly harrowing incident unfolded, etching itself into the lore of live television forever. During a match, broadcast to a nation of eager spectators, as the clock ticked into the 91st minute of a high-stakes game between Bolivia and Uruguay, something otherworldly occurred. The cameras, ever vigilant, captured a sinister shadow flitting through the stands. It moved with such an unnatural velocity and distinct shape that many onlookers gasped, believing they had witnessed a spectral entity ensnared on live TV. This chilling apparition seemed to defy the laws of physics, breezing through concrete and flesh alike, its presence ignored by the enthralled crowd, fixated on the game before them. Debate raged on. Was it merely a trick of light, a double exposure of a player's image, or something far more sinister, a ghostly visitor bound to the stadium, as if tethered by some unfathomable sorrow or unquenched desire for recognition? The stadium, already ripe with tales of hauntings, seemed to pulsate with a newfound dread. Whispers of past apparitions, of spirits guiding the home team to victory, and eerie manifestations at the stadium's northern reaches wove into the fabric of the stadium's mystique, turning it into a nexus of fear and fascination. On November 26, 1977, an unsettling incident interrupted the tranquility of southern England's airwaves. Andrew Gardner, a presenter from Itten Southern Television, was in the midst of a news broadcast detailing the ongoing conflict in Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, when suddenly the transmission was eerily overtaken. As viewers watched, the visuals distorted, replaced by an unsettling buzzing sound. Then, for 6 continuous minutes, an otherworldly voice hijacked the audio, claiming to be Brillian, an alleged representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command. This entity's message was both ominous and profound, asserting that it had been observing humanity for years, appearing as mysterious lights in the sky. Brillian's message was a mix of warning and wisdom, speaking of an impending disaster that humanity was urged to avoid by embracing peace and casting aside weapons of evil. He proclaimed the Earth was entering a new age, the Age of Aquarius, signaling a time of significant change and evolution. He called for the removal of evil, urging listeners to align with peace and prepare for a higher state of spiritual evolution. The voice urged humanity to listen to the inner divine and to become sensitive to the voice of truth that resides within all, while warning of false prophets and guides that would lead many astray. As the broadcast concluded, Vrillen's final words left an indelible mark, offering blessings of love and truth, before ending as abruptly as it began. The aftermath of this broadcast was tumultuous. The Independent Broadcasting Authority was baffled, acknowledging the significant technical expertise required for such a feat and marking it as an unprecedented event in broadcasting history. The incident led to widespread concern and speculation, with numerous viewers contacting the station for answers. Ultimately, it was revealed as a sophisticated hoax. Yet the identity of the perpetrator remained a mystery, leaving this broadcast as a peculiar footnote in the annals of television history, a blend of sci-fi intrigue and real-world mystery that continues to captivate and perplex. The realm of television is as captivating as it is complex, often presenting a polished facade that belies the unpredictable nature of live broadcasts. Among these are some deeply disturbing moments that have occurred on air, and this series delves into these darker instances, starting with a haunting event from June 14, 2008. On this day, Television Miyazaki, a Japanese TV station, was airing a light-hearted game show segment from the remote rice fields of Takachihocho. The competition was seemingly innocuous. Contestants stood back to back on a small wooden platform above a shallow, muddy pit, trying to push each other off into the mud below. The game, emblematic of the quirky charm of Japanese game shows, escalated when the show's hosts persuaded Tatsuchi Yanagida to participate. The moment Tatsuchi stepped onto the platform, the jovial atmosphere took a tragic turn. He lost his balance almost immediately, and in a split-second reaction, dove headfirst into the shallow water, which was only 6 inches deep, over a layer of thick mud. The impact was severe, instantly breaking his neck and leaving him paralyzed and face down in the water, unable to move or breathe. What unfolded next was horrifying. Unaware of Tatsuchi's dire condition, the crew and other contestants thought he was joking around, playfully shoving his face deeper into the mud. For an agonizing 15 seconds, Tatsuchi was in a desperate battle for his life, drowning in mere inches of water. Even when they briefly lifted his head, they dropped him back face first into the mud, prolonging the torture under the assumption it was all in good fun. The laughter and cheers from those around, oblivious to the true gravity of the situation, made the footage all the more harrowing to watch. Finally, Tatsuchi was pulled from the mud, and the broadcast cut away from the distressing scene. Miraculously, Tatsuchi survived, narrowly escaping death. Following a long recovery, he has since adapted to life with paralysis and even returned to the show in some capacity, offering a glimmer of resilience amidst a deeply unsettling broadcast accident. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the unpredictability and potential dangers of live television, where moments of entertainment can swiftly become grave misfortunes, leaving lasting impacts on participants. Our story unfolds in the serene countryside of Buttsfield, England, where Albert Dryden, a retired steelworker, decided to spend his days following a solitary life. His ambition was to craft a tranquil haven on a piece of land he had acquired, intending to build a bungalow for his elderly mother to enjoy during the summers and, intriguingly, a fallout bunker on the same premises. From the outset, Dryden faced obstacles. His application for building permits was swiftly denied, but undeterred, he proceeded with construction, believing he had discovered a legal loophole. Rather than erecting a traditional structure, he excavated a deep hole, embedding his home within it, dubbing it the home in a hole. He believed that, because the structure stood only about 8 feet above the ground, it would skirt legal restrictions. However, this assumption proved incorrect, and it quickly ignited a dispute between Dryden and the Derwentshire District Council. The conflict intensified over time, with Harry Collinson stepping in as the council's chief to handle the escalating situation. Collinson's first directive to Dryden was to cease all construction and dismantle the existing work. Dryden responded with a court appeal, which was promptly rejected, leading to a final decree for demolition. Local news outlets began chronicling the feud, casting a spotlight on the standoff between Dryden and the authorities. On the fateful day of June 20, 1991, a resolution was sought. Collinson, accompanied by a demolition team and police officers, arrived at Dryden's property to enforce the court's order, anticipating potential resistance. They had agreed to retreat if Dryden escalated matters to avoid any physical confrontation. However, as reporters gathered at the scene, it became evident that Dryden was prepared to defend his property vehemently. Confronted with the impending demolition, Dryden's demeanor shifted from defensive to menacing, issuing veiled threats to Collinson and the team. Despite these warnings, the council remained determined to proceed. Tensions reached a boiling point when Dryden produced a pistol, brandishing it at Collinson as the cameras captured every moment. In an instant, the situation turned tragic. Dryden fired at Collinson, hitting him directly in the chest, and then turned his gun on the surrounding crowd, creating a chaotic and horrifying scene. As shots continued to ring out, the crew and bystanders scrambled for safety. Amidst the pandemonium, it was revealed that a journalist and an officer had also been wounded. The aftermath of the shooting was a grim tableau, with Collinson fatally injured and Dryden engaging in a brief standoff with police before being apprehended. He was later convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment. Remarkably, despite the gravity of his actions, Dryden garnered a following, seen by some as a symbol of defiance against governmental overreach. He remained in prison until 2017, when a stroke led to his compassionate release. Dryden passed away a year later, but the memory of that dark day in television history endures, a stark reminder of the sometimes tragic intersection of personal defiance and public spectacle. In the year 1977, a haunting spectacle unfolded, one that delved deep into the world of escapology and human endurance. Bill, a fervent admirer of the late Harry Houdini, decided to mark the 66th anniversary of his hero's death by attempting a stunt that pushed the very limits of fear and fascination. Houdini, who had himself flirted with death by being buried alive, served as the macabre muse for what would become a chilling chapter in live television history. Bill's plan was not merely to replicate Houdini's grave act, but to eclipse it by introducing a terrifying variable: being handcuffed in the grave with concrete poured atop it, creating a suffocating stone chamber from which he would need to escape. This death-defying act would be broadcast live, with viewers unwittingly becoming a part of a potential tragedy. As the event unfolded, viewers were glued to their screens, watching with bated breath as Bill was buried alive, the earth swallowing him bit by bit until he lay entombed, a prisoner of the ground, until he lay entombed, a prisoner of the ground. The concrete flowed like a slow-moving river of doom, hardening into an impenetrable barrier above him. The tension was palpable. The rescue team, aware of the precarious nature of the stunt, stood ready, their every sense attuned to the slightest indication of distress. As the concrete set, sealing Bill in what could have been his final resting place, a collective gasp escaped from the live audience and those watching at home. It was a torturous weight, a blend of hope and dread hanging in the air. Then, in a dramatic turn, Bill emerged, pulled from the brink of death by a thread of fate and the frantic efforts of his rescue team. He was whisked away to safety, a living testament to both the triumph and folly of challenging death so brazenly. Yet, the echo of this stunt reverberated long after. Bill's relentless spirit saw him reattempt the perilous feat, each time adding elements of danger, including a venomous companion in the form of a snake. Each act brought him closer to the edge, a dance with death that he seemingly could not resist. The narrative took an even darker turn with Amazing Joe, another escapologist who, inspired by Bill's and Houdini's legacies, sought to etch his name in the annals of escapology. In a tragic misjudgment, Joe's attempt at the buried alive stunt, this time encased in a glass and plastic coffin, ended in disaster. The makeshift tomb could not withstand the weight of the earth and concrete, collapsing under immense pressure, turning a spectacle into a catastrophe right before the eyes of a live, horrified audience. Thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Also, remember to subscribe and ring that notification bell. I'll see you in the next video.